Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. And the consensus among crypto's top chart analysts is that the market has hit bottom. I am referring to the local pit bottom here. Since FTX's fall in November of last year, it has been abundantly clear that we are near the cyclical low point. But there has been a lot of worry in recent days that Bitcoin was going to crater on a crater known down below that roughly $15,000 mark that we saw this past November, that we are going to see $12,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Bitcoin, and even if we weren't going to see that through some animals, many analysts that thought that we were in for the opposite of a treat when it comes to price action in cryptocurrency. But I'd want to convey the thoughts of the video's chart experts who say, no, the most likely scenario is that this local admits it's inside. And I'll let you in on the opinion of one XRP analyst who says, oh, we're looking at $5.85 XRP once this correction, and so if it's over, well, in that case, if this guy's right, it's only a matter of time. But before we go any further, let me make it perfectly clear that I am not a financial expert and do not have any sort of financial support. And remember, you should never use anything I say as a reason to buy or sell something. I'm merely a hobbyist that occasionally posts films to YouTube about crypto-related subjects. Moreover, for kicks. At the time this video was made, one Bitcoin cost $26,607 and XRP 49 cents. So, not the most mind-blowing in terms of percentage rises, but if you're buying into that sort of thing, it's a pleasant surprise given the global hysteria and social media chaos. Bitcoin has increased by 1.18% in the last day, whereas XRP has increased by only 1.41%. Here is a 7-day chart of Bitcoin prices, and you can see that the price of XRP began to break down 3 days ago, dropping to around 46 cents. If we look at a weekly chart for Bitcoin, we can see that it made a bearish break around the same time and eventually settled in the upper 24,000s. Here is a 24-hour chart of Bitcoin's price action, which clearly shows an upward trend over the past day. The rest of the market followed suit, which is excellent news, though the percentage increase isn't very large. Some pessimists, though, were certain that Bitcoin's decline from the high 20,000s would continue since they had seen it happen before. And if that's going to happen, then I'd rather not print it. I'm not trying to pass myself off as a chart analyst by any means, but I believe the opinions of those professionals to be every bit as intriguing as your own, so I thought I'd compile the thoughts of a few that I particularly admire into my current Moon Limbo Hot GM. The Bitcoin market cap dominance chart you see before you is sourced from trustworthy crypto chart analysts. This is what a reputable crypto wrote. Every time the regional downturn in Bitcoin's preeminence has been broken, a significant impulsive move has preceded or followed it. Each of the previous 3 impulses was $1,000, totaling $7,000. With yesterday's closure, we ended a localized decline in Bitcoin's preeminence. In other words, the action he described is plotted for you to view on the screen. And what he's saying is that, historically speaking, huge swings are to be expected whenever there's a change of this magnitude. That is what we have observed. Is a major transition therefore imminent as a direct result of this event? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what develops. Even though I'm not a professional journalist, I had to say something. You never know for sure when something like that will happen, but it's just a matter of time before you witness it. But after over 6 years in the industry, you occasionally wake up thinking, wow, that's a big-ass move. What? A rise of 8,000 in Bitcoin price, oh, that's cool, in a way. A former colleague of mine at the excellent supply chain analytics startup Glassnode is now working as an analyst for TSMC. In his opinion piece for a TSMC said the following. Supposing you are oh, by the way, March 2020 is the month he is referring to. Remember, this was the month of the pandemic when cryptocurrency prices were at their worst. In other words, this is when XRP hit 10 cents, and Bitcoin plummeted to its all-time low, the precise amount of which I cannot recall at the moment. There was a total collapse. Those of you who were around at the time will remember the widespread fear that this marked the end of the world. I, for one, never believed that to be the case, and Bitcoin has since surged to record highs. That's a lot of hot air, but that was the general feeling back then. This morning, TSMC published the following. The COVID market fractal will not be duplicated #Bitcoin, so anyone hoping for a March 2020 style dip and rip V bottom to end this cycle will be disappointed. And therefore, he's not alone in thinking that the peculiar circumstances we witnessed in 2020 call for such an approach. And it appears that backer shares many of our views on the fundamental principles behind blockchain technology. Based on his previous actions, I am confident in saying that I can sell him. In fact, he reposted it on Network X, and the blockchain investor commented as follows, 100% not the year 2020, we must abandon recency bias. Instead of $12,000, this scenario should be based on the 4-year cycle and block reward halving theory. I'm not going back to where I was. It's this or the city of doom. Indeed, you won't believe what happens next. Price is moving in the expected direction. As for the people, they gave up easily down low. For this little period, you can enjoy a full-screen experience. Simply a Bitcoin to US dollars chart. This is the level we just acquired a few days ago, within the last, well, I don't know, a couple of weeks or so leading up to this, so it's intriguing. I did catch that the blockchain back was referring to that level. And he's talking about the same price range when it comes to the fantastic crypto, roughly $24,800. And so, just as we hit that, there's major capitulation, and blood can be seen in the streets. There is widespread fear and emotional breakdown, and no one can get any rest. To what effect? Well, once more, not that there's been a meteoric rise today. Isn't this the antithesis of what the doomsayers have been predicting for the past 3 days? There was no positive reason for this to occur. What a fascinating fact. So TSMC shared the blockchain supporters post, and then TSMC elaborated on his ideas. The result is a warning that things are going to crash and burn. It will be related to the current economic downturn. Here, let him express himself freely, but know that we aren't too concerned about it happening anytime soon. The bottom has now been reached locally, and all possible outcomes are being discussed. What the TXMC has to say is as follows. Bitcoin bulls should look at 2015 as a benchmark, not 2019. All the signatures in the chain have a 2015 feel to them. For a mid-cycle drop like 2019 to occur, there has been no bear rally into fib levels. Since November of 2021, the price has become fractal. Also coincides with the 2015 bear post's eerie-style retrace. Bitcoin's uptrend halted in April of 2021. The alt period bloomed to its fullest, and the second part of the year saw an exuberant retracement into a new high, spawning a plethora of commentaries. The expansion of a flat that leads to a new peak is an example of a corrective structure. And that's exactly what our eyes witnessed. Lower lows in the middle of a cycle have never happened before, especially without a retracement rally setup. Assuming you happen to be a bull. Despite research of symmetrical trends over time, this issue doesn't appear to fit any of those molds. Yeah. Having said that, I'll pause to point you that the blockchain sponsor has been warning that Bitcoin might reach $12,000 soon. Not to put words in his mouth, but based on what I've seen from his warning, it seems to be the level you think we need to return to before we can really take off. And the downtime is doomed. I mean, that sums things up pretty well, right? It appears that TSMC is of the same attitude in this regard. Monday's 911 was an all-out capitulation, TSMC added. All of a sudden, people who had been calling for Bitcoin to drop below $15,000 were shouting it from the rooftops. What the public did not see, however, was that the $24,900 price tag was for a building that crashed to the ground within 24 hours, 1 hour, and even 1 minute. This raises the probability substantially that the bottom is now in. Since all risk assets are expected to fall to new lows beyond their 2022 lows, I believe that Monday marked the local bottom, and Bitcoin will continue to cruise higher until the recession ends. It's also highly unlikely that prices will experience a unique V-shaped bottom and rise from that point in 2020. My personal, data-backed opinion. Sadly, nobody can see the future. Many people, I believe, will be taken aback by the events over the following several years. Keep a market journal, please. The blockchain's supporter also distributed this graph. Considering how large Bitcoin's market cap is, dominance. Here's what he had to say about it: the alignment is ridiculous, and the recency bias of 2020 is not the behavior to be drawing from, regardless of whether you're a doomer or a moonboy. After that, he added this chart, which you should also view in full screen. A USD Bitcoin chart is displayed here. On the left is 2023 and on the right is 2016, and he noted that the 2 years hardly retrace each other in 2016. After that, he stood and coiled the thread. That is completely distinct from, for anything even vaguely close, 2019 is the full retrace of 618,702. To be honest, we need to see at least $40,000 in Bitcoin value. The Bitcoin price charts continue below. And there's this, and look, I really like my approach to crypto for myself, but I'm not suggesting you copy it. I'm not giving you any kind of investment advice, such as whether you should buy or sell. However, I am pleased with my current investment strategy because I am convinced that the value of this asset class will increase dramatically at some unspecified time in the future, and that many of the assets I currently possess will be worth an absolute fortune in comparison to their current values. And I'm pleased I'm not a chart analyst because I own close to 30 different cryptocurrencies and don't have to worry about the timing of stuff. I value their efforts and the insights they provide. Actually, I do. Personally, I'd rather watch paint dry than try to become one, but I'm delighted that people with varied backgrounds and interests exist in the world. If I do nothing else, though, I will either be proven correct or wrong. If I'm correct, the problem will solve itself. I'll just wake up one morning to find everything has gone haywire. I'm confident that this will happen again because we've seen it happen numerous times in the same direction during the past 6 years I've spent working in crypto. Many factors contribute to this. More interesting things are occurring. From the crypto basics, however, we learn that analysts highlight final support levels for XRP and set a target price of $5.85. When the process of rectification is complete. In addition, I'll give you my take on things. In this video, I thought I'd obtain the opinions of a few analysts who are popular among XRP enthusiasts. The 93,600 people who follow the Dark Defender on XRP believe this to be true. Plus, I'll show you the costs on a chart denoting XRP to USD. Furthermore, he penned the following. On September 2nd, we predicted that XRP would reach a halt around 93 cents, naming that price as the end of Wave 1 and predicting that 46 cents and 39 cents would serve as the final supports. XRP is now trading near 46 cents. In case of a breakdown, the last line of defense is at 39 cents. Plus, on the bright side, that was 2 days ago. Then he says, then I expect this wave to correction to be over, and wave 3 targets of $1.88 and $5.85 will be in play. This was after we'd seen the bottom but before it reached the level we're seeing today, which isn't outrageously higher than what we're seeing today, but 49 cents. And so, folks, like I said, the reason I adore my strategy is because I just believe that humans are going to keep behaving like this. We're going to keep seeing way more money flowing, and a continued trend to the upside despite massive pullbacks along the way, which is exactly what has been happening throughout the entire existence of crypto, including XRP. It never fails to appear impossible until suddenly it is there. I think XRP is going to have its day in the sun because, with the newfound legal clarity, it can finally run free when the market does. I have placed my bets properly. I'm just going to keep insisting that I have no say over such occurrences. I have no say in the matter. but I think that will happen eventually. If I'm wrong, I'm just going to sit here and hold till it reaches zero. Even if I do lose everything, which is possible, I don't think it's the most likely scenario. And this is really cool. I have no doubts about that at all. Give me your feedback. Do you feel better now that we're seeing positive trends developing? What do you think of the viewpoints of many animals that I presented in my New Moon Limbo smash hit? Do you think their arguments hold water? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. I don't give advice on money matters. Nothing I say should influence a purchase you make for yourself, right? Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.